Welcome back. I'm kind of glowing and squinty because I am outside and in Bellingham and alone. So I did a lot of reading though because I haven't been at home and I've had a lot of time on my hands. So I have 4 books. Yes, 4. First book is Thrill Ride. It's by Rachel Hawthorne. And it's one of those kind of teen romantic comedy books. These ones are put out by Avon Books. And this one is about a girl named Megan who goes away for the summer to work at a thrill park, an amusement park called Thrill Ride. And she has a boyfriend at home, and she's really sad that she doesn't get to see him, and it's a long distance relationship, and she kind of starts hanging out with this guy, Parker, who is her roommate's brother, and she's told him, hey, I have a boyfriend, we can't do anything, and he's like, no, sure, we'll just be friends, and I'll be your partner, because everyone is going to be partnered up during the summer, so, it'll be nice, we'll have a couple of people together. And she's like, okay, but you understand, again, I'm not going to be your girlfriend. He's like, yeah, of course. And of course, things happen, and you really want them to get together, and it's a fun book. It's probably one of the better romantic comedies that I've read. I really enjoy it, and their banter is really nice, and Rachel Hawthorne actually has a really great writing style. So, Thrill Ride by Rachel Hawthorne. There, you can see it. It's a really fun little book. It's one of those kind of beach read books that you just take out when you're like, I'm going to be sun drunk and don't want to think. So, good book. Second book is Queen of Babble Gets Hitched. It's by Meg Cabot, and it's the third in her Queen of Babble trilogy. And so Lizzie Nichols is a blabbermouth. She really is. And she is in New York, and she's had some difficulties, and I don't know what to say without giving this away too much for people who haven't read the rest of the series. She's had arguments with guy who she was seeing, and then there's another guy who she really likes, but she's like, no, I'm not going to like him. And she keeps telling herself this because this guy does not believe in marriage. And so she's like, no, I'm not going to like him. I can't like him. He doesn't believe in marriage, and I really want to get married. But she has feelings for him, and she really wants to like him. And this is actually my favorite book of the series, I think probably because I'm such a happy ending nerd, and I was just so happy with the ending of this book and how it all turns out. And I really love each of the chapters has a section about the history of weddings, and then like tips on what to do for a wedding, which is really kind of cool as you're reading through them. And you don't have to remember any of it, but it's just kind of cool, useless facts of information, which is really fun. Which I love. I always love useless facts of information. So that's Queen of Babble Gets Hitched. It's a good book. It's another one of those really light, fun books that you'll find when you're not looking for something too serious to read. The Queen of Babble series is actually it's pretty good, and I like Lizzie more as the series progresses. She gets a little bit more mature. She believes in herself a little bit more. She gets a little bit more self-esteem. I really enjoyed that series. Next book is Never Bite a Boy on the First Date by Tamara Summers. And I like Tamara Summers. The books that I've read of hers, I really love every time. This one, it's not going to be a serious vampire book. If you're looking for that, you need to just go and find something more serious, like Janine Frost or Black Dagger Brotherhood, to name a couple. But so it's a along the same lines as the romantic comedy books, and you have this girl, Kira, who was in a car accident, and her vampire family found her and was like, well, would you like to not die? And she's like, yes, I would like that very much, not die. But unfortunately, she's had trouble in the past with biting people, and so someone turns up dead, and of course everyone's like, well, of course it was Kira. And she's like, no, it wasn't me! And so she goes about solving the mystery of who it was, and there's cute boys and wonderful banter, and it's a really fun book. I almost wish that there was a second one to see what happens after the end of the book, because it kind of wraps up okay, but I kind of want to see what happens next. And Tamara Summers she's a great writer. She has such a wonderful, funny voice, and like the way she writes situations is just really fun to read. So, and she's great at banter. I'm a banter person. I love banter, and so that always will endear an author to me. And the last book is my favorite of the bunch. It may be one of my new favorite books that I read a lot. And it's one of those that I've waited forever to buy. Like, I would see it in the bookstore, and I'd be like, I want to buy you, but I do not have money, and so I need this book, or I've been waiting for this book longer, so I'm going to buy that book. And so I finally got to buy it, and I love it so much, and it is Hex Hall by Rachel Hawkins. And it is the first in a trilogy, which I'm very, very excited about. It's about this girl, Sophie, who is a witch, and she's a witch in a very conspicuous manner that gets her sent to a kind of supernatural reformatory school. There's witches and fairies and werewolves, and, well, not werewolves, shifters. So, werewolves and other shifters. And then there's also a vampire there, who is her roommate. Yay! And she is very sarcastic and kind of angry about the whole thing. She doesn't. Her parents split when she was a kid. Her mother did not know that her father was a witch, and she's like, yeah, no, that's not happening. Goodbye, thank you. And so she's never actually met her dad, and she actually has a little bit of a twisty family history that you learn about that's really kind of cool. And she's not like the other people at school, because of course that is the basis of all books like this. You're not the same as everyone else. Harry Potter, you're not a muggle, you're a wizard, you're not the same as anyone. Percy, you're not just a kid with ADD, you're the son of a god. I love those books. It's fun, but that's pretty much the basis of a lot of books, is you are not like these people, you're better. And so this is about Sophie's struggles at school, and there's people who are dying and being attacked, and they think it's a vampire. And she's like, no, my friend is a vampire, and she's a wonderful person. Back off. And so there's mystery, and there's banter. Love the banter. And there's shocks and surprises, and I found myself talking to this book so much, I would sit there and be like, oh! Or, no, don't do that! Oh, God. See, those expressions. I tend to keep those in my head because, when you say those out loud, people look at you like you're a crazy person. But this time I couldn't help myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And not exactly like that, because that is weird. But it was a wonderful book. I loved it so much. I actually plan to read it again many times, and I would buy Demon Glass if I had a job. Seriously, that's the one thing keeping me from buying it right now, is that I do not have an income. So, Hex Hall, Rachel Hawkins, good book. Seriously, go and read it. Get it from the library. It's in paperback, so it wasn't too expensive. It was $8.99 at my Borders. You could probably find it at a secondhand bookshop for a little bit less even. So those are the 4 books that I have for this week. I really am having a fun time reading. It's so nice to get to read again. So I will have more books next week, and I hope that you enjoy this video. And look, it's posted on time. Woohoo! That never happens. So I will be back next week with more books. Happy reading.